celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
Hey, my friend. It is Animal Radio. I'm Hal Abrams. Judy Francis is screening your calls for Dr. Debbie, dog trainer Alan Cable, dog father Joey Villani, or animal communicator Joy Turner. And today, actually, Joey Villani is the bird father. And why would that be?
I'm actually the Birdman of Animal Radio.
Birdman.
Yes, because I'm going to be telling you the benefits of grooming and bathing your bird. You know, it's funny. Now that I'm speaking about that, because I just seen a documentary on the Birdman of Alcatraz, and when you watch the movie, you think he's this nice guy, and you know, he had the birds on the roof, and he was a sick human being that they couldn't even put him in the showers with the other inmates. So I don't want to be the Birdman of Animal Radio. Okay, I changed that.
Now, you actually put your bird in the sink, and you'll do the whole deal. And I got to think, does it scare you? Gurney? Gurney, by the way, is the name of your bird, and I have no idea why you named it Gurney. But
I didn't name it Gurney. Gurney was 6 years old when I got Gurney, so Gurney came with the name. So that's why I would have never that name would have never even crossed my mind.
Doesn't Gurney freak in the shower though?
No, loves it. My bird, if you're showering, and that's the big highlight, I think, of my bird's day, is because it's getting in the shower and standing there next to you as you're showering. The bird loves it and loves water in general. If he stands by the sink, you turn the sink on, he has to stick his head down and take a drink. The bird just loves water. Sick. I think he's a birdfish.
That's cute. That's all on the way. We'll find out how to bathe your bird, and seems to be very important. From the the bird father, or the Birdman of Animal Radio. I guess bird father, just that doesn't sound right. That's
it's not very manly.
No, it isn't.
I don't want to go there.
Also on the show today, the lady who's put together the dog tarot cards. We'll have giveaways with these tarot cards for your dog. I really can't tell you much more about them until she comes on, because I really don't know much more about them. Also, the trainer who has trained dogs to drive. You may have seen this video. That's all on the way right here on Animal Radio. And Stacy, of course, what are you doing?
You know, a lot of actors and actresses get into different marketing things besides just acting. It's a great way to make money. They use their celebrity status, and they have a product that catches on. Paris Hilton, she's got 5 billion products. Paul Newman, he's no longer with us, but he's got salad dressing, at least his relatives do, and they're fighting over who owns it. And then Katherine Heigl, she's got a new product, and she's got a bunch of products. I'll tell you what they are coming up on Animal Radio News.
Let's hit the phones. Hey, Jan, welcome to the show.
Yes, hi.
I have Dr. Debbie right here. What's up?
Hi. I have a 6-year-old Persian. Hi. And she will not come to her name.
What's her name?
Her name is, I call her Sugar Baby.
That might be it.
Actually, Hal, it is. She doesn't like the name.
Oh, the animal communicator Joyce says that she doesn't like the name.
Well,
she's like, oh, too bad, huh? Well,
she doesn't answer to anything at all. And I know she can hear because of loud sounds and the doorbell and all that, and she runs. But she will not come to anything that I call her. The only time I can get her attention is a shaker with treats in it. That's it.
There you go. You just hit upon it. Cats don't respond and listen like a dog does. So you know that there's an old saying that dogs will come when they're called and cats will ask you to leave a message. And it is so true. It is so true. Cats have to have a motivation because naturally they're just kind of that kind of critter that they hang back and say, what? You want me to do what? So we need to motivate her. Now, and Joy has just said, if she doesn't care for the name, that's the other thing. So some general tips when you name a pet, whether it's a dog or a cat, we want to keep it short. So we want to have 1 to 2 syllables. You don't want to make it a very long, drawn-out name. And preferably, we try to end the name on a vowel, especially because that makes our voice kind of rise at the end. So we say Frisky. We say baby, and your voice goes up, and it helps to kind of keep their attention while you're calling them. And then we also want to make sure you don't want to use anything that sounds like people's names in the homes or any bad words or anything else where it might sound like a command. So in a cat, you have a special situation because you have to get over this hurdle of motivation. And most things in the cat world rely and circulate around food. So that is the great motivator for cats. And I would encourage you, if it's important for you, for the cat to come when you're calling, then you work towards that by using food rewards. And preferably that is done where you limit the amount of actual food that's available at that time. So you don't want a cat that can go up to the food bowl, graze, and say, thank you, I'm quite full right now. I don't really want to perform. So you cut back a little bit on the food, or preferably do this little play sessions, training sessions before you put that food down. And then use your command, come. Start it off with her name, hopefully something cute like baby, Snooky or whatever. And then
I call her baby. Yeah.
Okay. And then use the command and give the food reward afterwards. And it takes a lot of time for cats to get this compared to dogs just because, they kind of lose interest. But you want to make sure you pair it with food, and preferably something really yummy, tasty, those treats that you wouldn't give normally, you give when you want to work with her and her name. And you can even do clicker training for cats, believe it or not, if you work on it. But I think I want to go back to Joy and maybe this cat, Joy, does she have a suggestion on what she wants her name to be?
Well, she wouldn't mind the baby thing, but she wants something that's a little dignified. The other thing she's really wanting is she wants you to understand that she is not your servant. So she's not going to come at your beck and call.
You are her servant. You have to remember that.
That is it. And she says if you do give her something that's motivational enough for her, in other words, a big enough reason in her mind that she should come toward you, she will do that, but don't expect it unless there's a real good thing in it for her.
Well, the treats, and I don't give her many. What I've done is substitute a treat for a different I have a better cat food. She won't eat canned wet. She only and she's a grazer, so she doesn't eat a lot at a time. And I do substitute a different cat food, the kibbles, instead of treats because I end up giving her too many. And so she loves them. She thinks they're a treat. So I just put it in the little shaker and shake it, and she comes. That's her motivation. That's all that she's looking for.
That's all she's looking for is a reason to come and not to feel like she has to respond just because you said so.
Oh, okay.
Good luck with that. We have 4 cats in the studio, and one of them actually comes for its medicine. We can actually let the cat outdoors and call it to come like a dog. So, but then the other cats, they wouldn't give us the time of day on a bed.
Yeah.
Good luck with it.
I know my daughter's got a couple cats, and they all come to their name. Yeah.
She's lucky. She's lucky.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you can work this out. Let us know how it works out. We're curious to find out if Dr. Debbie's advice really works or not.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Hal. Voice of confidence there.
Thank you.
Take care. Of course it does. She is our vet, by the way, and we trust her implicitly with your animals.
You're listening to Animal Radio.
Hey, Animal Radio. It's Vinnie Penn, your party animal, coming at you yet again. If you were paying attention to the last episode's party animal installment, you know we're getting a little art house here. Got a subtitle going. We're doing the Cruiser Chronicles. Cruiser is my mini schnauzer of my youth that I had. He ran the show. He ran the Penn household for over 10 years. I was telling a story in the last installment about Cruiser eating about 30 pounds worth of chocolate, probably, and surviving. And now I've got an even better Cruiser story for you all, although it does start on a somber note. I'll just to let you know, recently, my older sister called me. An old friend of my mother's had passed away, hadn't seen her in ages, and she said, we should pay our respects. We should go to the wake. And we went to the wake, of course, to pay respects. Really, I hadn't seen her in in ages, since the 90s. When we were leaving, my sister said to me, gee, when was the last time you saw her? I've been seeing her around lately. You probably haven't seen her in a million years. I said, Lori, I haven't. And I started thinking about the last time I saw her. And it was actually, and we were in hysterics, which you never feel good about being in hysterics on the way home from a wake. I mean, there's at least a sliver of guilt. But nonetheless, I said, gee, I remember what it was. She had come to the house. She was visiting Mom. And while she was visiting Mom, Cruiser took a dump in her pocketbook. Not even kidding you. The sick part is she didn't even realize. We always said that Cruiser acted like his crap didn't stink. You know the old saying? Yeah, you act like your crap doesn't stink. Well, Cruiser's evidently did. He acted that way, and it was because it didn't, because she made it all the way out to her car, God rest her soul, without knowing there were 2 dog turds in her pocketbook. I don't know if Cruiser was sending a message, if there was something in the pocketbook that had made him feel as if this was the perfect spot. Maybe he just felt like she'd take it outside for him. Who knows? Only Cruiser knows. But inadvertently, this gives me an idea. The doggy poop pocketbook. Make a lot of money out of that. All I need is a distributor. Vinny Penn, Animal Radio.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Call the Dream Team now with the free Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android.
This portion of Animal Radio is underwritten by Fear-Free Happy Homes. Don't forget you can get your fix of Animal Radio anytime you want with the Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android. Download it now. It's made possible by Fear-Free Happy Homes, helping your pets live their happiest, healthiest, fullest lives at home, at the vet, and everywhere in between. Visit them at fearfreehappyhomes.com. And thanks, Fear-Free, for underwriting Animal Radio.
Hi, this is Paul Rogers.
And Cynthia Rogers.
On Animal Radio.
Just know that it's going to be all right, meow.
Fido Friendly Magazine presents the 17th annual Cross Country Pet Adoption Tour. Get your licks on Route 66. Along with media sponsor Animal Radio and companion sponsor Zymox, the tour travels down America's favorite highway from LA to Chicago, stopping at shelters along the way to support adoption events and to raise money for the shelters. With the help of cat food sponsor Cat It, community sponsor Tito's Vodka for Dog People, campground sponsor KOA, grooming sponsor Hands On Gloves, and car wrap sponsor Signs to You. Fido Friendly Magazine brings their giant spinning wheel where attendees can donate money to spin and win Fido fabulous prizes. All proceeds benefiting the shelter of the day. In the first 16 years, the tour has helped to place over 20,000 pets into new forever homes. Log on to FidoFriendly.com to see where the tour stops near you and come out for a safe, fun way to support your local shelter. And who knows, you might just find your new forever friend.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Here's Hal and Judy.
We have Violet on the phone. Hi, Violet.
Hi, how are you?
Good. What's going on in your world?
Oh, just working at Pooch's Playground, but I have a client that has troubles with one of their dogs. His name's Puffy. He's actually, they say he's, I believe he's Maltipoo and Poodle.
Okay.
What's happening is he's way overweight. He came from the dog pound. He has bad disability things. You have to put boundaries up because if not, he gets under somewhere, he'll bite you.
Oh, wow.
He also has a lot of allergies going on. He's been coming in every 2 weeks. I give him a bath, and it's a Mel-Vibe type of bath. More stuff it's like from the doctors and stuff. He's got ear infections. He's got down where his stomach area, it's all crispy, all everything. And after I get done with him, he's all nice and clean, but it's a little red, and then I put some cortisone on him, which is from the doctors.
Okay.
But the problem is he's going home, and he's peeing in his living room on a hardware floor.
Okay.
I told him he had to start putting him in a kennel. At first he thought it was the other dog. I said, go ahead and put one in a kennel and see which one it is first. Well, we found out who it was. It was Puffy.
Okay.
So Linda Puffy, when he could be cool, you could put him in the kennel, And then when you come right back out, he doesn't want to go outside. It's the doggy door. He's scared to go out.
Mm-hmm.
And then he weighs about 50 pounds.
Wow, that's a big multi-poo.
He looks like a walrus. I could tell you that much. Not a very nice walrus.
Okay.
But we're having a lot of troubles. I think he's got behavior problems. He needs to be on some meds, pearls.
Okay. Well, Violet, you sound like you're really, an advocate for puppies' health here, and I definitely appreciate that. And I hope the owners have that same enthusiasm for trying to help him out, because it does sound like we've got a couple things.
Give him back over there, but I'm trying to help him to start all over again.
So the owners are thinking of giving the dog back to the pound?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, a couple of things first and foremost, and the owners may not want to hear this from a veterinarian, but as far as if I have a grossly overweight dog, one of the first things that I want to do before we talk about trying to get that weight in line is to make sure we've screened them for a thyroid problem. The extra reason that I would recommend that for Puffy is because you're describing a lot of skin problems. And sometimes pets with thyroid disorders can also have an increased propensity for skin disease. So frequent infections.
They already have that taken care of, but he doesn't have that.
All right. And then the other thing is with a urination problem, also, I always look to the side to make sure we don't have something medically going on. So if they haven't had his urine checked, that's going to be one thing I definitely want to do. Especially if he's on any kind of cortisone or other medications, then that definitely can affect his ability to hold his urine.
Yeah,
so make sure that the medical part of his health is taken care of, before we start talking about how we're going to manage, behaviorally crate training. Because you can crate train a dog that's got a urinary tract infection, you're going to bang your head up against the wall. And not to mention, you're going to mistreating something that's making the pet uncomfortable, and they may just be trying to tell us in some physical way because they can't tell us verbally.
Yeah.
So
now he
so
did
I think
do that what you said. He took him to the vet. Did this. It's not a urinary infection because when he left Puffy out, he peed right in front of him.
Well, that doesn't mean it's not an infection. So, I mean, if they did have a urine test done and that's been analyzed, then that's a different kind of thing. But, sometimes it could be a behavioral or a medical problem that will cause a dog to do that. So I don't know that makes a case for me. Now, does he need behavior meds? And maybe in my office, we might go there. But I think I would want to make sure that I've done everything that I can to make sure we're not missing, something medically going on with him.
Yeah, see, that's what I was worried about, too. I was telling him. So
yeah,
and there's a lot. Gave him up because he's so expensive because of medical problems.
Oh, no doubt. And, unfortunately, there's some folks that are just made to be the parents of difficult to manage or medically challenged dogs. There are definitely some people that aren't on board for that. So, and that's where it's tough because, you have all the great intention in the world, but if his parents don't have that motivation, you can't make that for him. And I don't think we can make necessarily all these problems really simple for them to deal with.
He really doesn't know what to do.
So, Violet, you know the owner. Yeah. And what is the owner willing to do, really willing to do, to help his dog?
He wants to keep him, but yet he's worried that it's going to be costly after a while.
Why does he feed him too much? That's the simplest solution. The simplest thing to work on from the start is to feed the dog less, and yet you tell us he refuses to do that.
I could tell because it's okay. His sister, I take care of her Maltipoos, and they come in here and Maltese, and I could tell because they totally overfeed him.
Well, we know what to do, and you know what to do, Violet, but if the owner is not willing to do it, you really can't help this owner. That's what's so sad is that people feel guilty when they're feeding their dog less or when they're giving their dog structure and rules. They think it's mean. And in reality, it's
what you're saying. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Because he looks at Puffy, and Puffy is a real puppy, And I look at him, and I'm like, dude, you're too heavy.
Alan's right. He's got to embrace this whole approach that we're not going to have a quick fix. So, no, a vet is not going to give you a pill to fix the behavioral problems. Well, we've got a lot of other things going on with this baby. He may be having a lot of other issues that we really need to address. So, what about the idea, Violet? I mean, you sound like you really care about him. What about, if his family doesn't want to take on this challenge? What about, you sound like a great mom or even maybe a foster family.
I can't do anymore.
Oh.
I have
Violet,
one just passed away, and I had 7, but she had cancer. But the doctor told me she's only going to leave 2.5 weeks, and here she was for 8.5.
You're awesome, Violet. Hey, Violet, do you think it would be possible to have the owner himself call us up?
Yeah, I could get him to do that. That would be good.
That would be the best thing.
Yeah, I'll have him do that. Because
and then maybe all together we can convince him.
Know what to do, and I think if he hears it from someone else,
sounds like a plan.
I did tell him he needs to, right now. He's at home cleaning his floors.
Well, get him to call in if you can do that, and we'll give him the 4-1. We'll set him straight.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Call the Dream Team now with the free Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of uncertainty lurking under your hood. You know the feeling. I know I do. That sudden sinking sensation when you see a check engine light or your car unexpectedly breaks down and you're faced with sky-high repair bills. It's time to shield against unexpected repairs with CarShield. CarShield is America's most trusted auto protection company and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Don't let the fear of a breakdown keep you up at night. Trust the Shield, CarShield, and say goodbye to terrifying repair bills and hello to peace of mind. Your plan also comes with 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental car options, and so much more. Don't wait till it's too late. Call CarShield now before a breakdown. Protect your wallet. Protect your car with CarShield. Get our best protection ever. Call now. You'll thank me later. 800-987-0618. 800-987-0618. That's 800-987-0618.
Hi, Randy Travis here, and you're listening to Animal Radio.
This is an Animal Radio News Update.
I'm Stacy Cohen for Animal Radio. Elizabeth DeMasellis' family is like many in Detroit and across the country. They live paycheck to paycheck. Bills to pay and diapers to buy. Sometimes when money gets tight, food for the family's dog, Zoe, a boxer beagle mix, it's stretched a little, or she only gets a hot dog. Well, that is until 3 months ago. That's when the mother of 3 learned that she could get dog food at a community sharing outreach center in Highland Township. She's visited this center before for clothing and food for her family. Well, DeMasellis has now gotten free bags of dog food. It keeps her dog's belly full, and it saves up to about $25 extra a month. It's been a huge bonus and blessing to her family. She said, I wouldn't get rid of my dog just because I can't afford to feed her. It's like getting rid of one of your kids. Families who are struggling financially often don't have enough food to put on their tables, let alone to buy for their pets. So they share their food, or worse, surrender or abandon a beloved dog or cat to a shelter. The Humane Society of the United States started a new program. It's called Fill the Bowl Project, where congregations can help pets and their families just by adding pet food and supplies to their collection drives. Well, vets and experts agree your dog needs to walk. So what constitutes a good walk? Well, first, it should be every day, preferably more than once a day. And it's also imperative to keep your dog on a leash. You know what? I was walking my horse and my dog the other day, just yesterday actually, on the side of the road, and some guy came by. He had 3 dogs, big, huge, 2 Pyrenees dogs and 1 golden retriever. Well, the golden retriever was an older dog. He wasn't on a leash. He felt like it would just follow him. And the dog stopped in the middle of the road on this huge, busy road with big trucks coming by and everything. So you want to make sure you keep your dogs on a leash. Also, you know, sometimes your dogs sniff and you pull one. Well, let them sniff, because dogs actually see with their nose, so it makes it more enjoyable for them. And you can also work on obedience when you're walking with your dog. So just carry some treats, and, you know, you can work on sit, down, heel, etc. Obviously, it's a great exercise for both you and your dog. And that phrase, if your dog is fat, you're not getting enough exercise, it's not far from the truth. And, of course, walking enhances the bond between you and your pet. Bedtime at Katherine Heigl's house can take a little while. A mom of 2 daughters and 7 other kids of the 4-legged variety. She likes to give each one special attention. So after she puts her girls to bed, then she does her own nighttime ritual with her dogs. The actress has channeled her love of animals to ending animal abuse, and she's launched a line of pet products, and portions of the proceeds go to help programs that foster, train, neuter, and rescue animals. Merchandise ranging from pet colors to apparel and accessories for people is available on the product's website.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update. Get more at animalradio.com.
Check out Animal Radio highlights. All the good stuff without the blah, blah, blah. Browse on over to animalradio.pet.
It's Animal Radio. Every Ever since the beginning of the show, we were talking about these dog tarot cards, and we're going to have some to give away. The phones have been ringing white hot. Everybody wants some of these dog tarot cards. Let's find out a little more about them. We have Heidi Schulman. She's the creator of them on with us. Hi, Heidi. Welcome to the show. Heidi, I've heard this lady before.
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again.
I didn't realize she did that job also. That's cool.
Wow. She plays hard to get.
I know you hate when I'm on my iPad when I'm on the show, but I got some really cool stuff I just found here.
Oh, what did you find?
Okay, the best and worst cities for raising your dog. Can anyone guess what the number one city in the United States is for raising your dog?
I'm going to guess Boulder, Colorado.
No.
I would say it's got to be the Pacific Northwest, somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, because they allow dogs almost everywhere.
Do you want to know something? You're right. Portland, Oregon is number one. And the worst city to raise your dog in, can anyone guess?
Oh, that's got to be in Jersey. I'm guessing.
No, but Newark, New Jersey was the next one. No, L.A. L.A. was the worst city in the country to raise your dog, and then Newark, New Jersey was right behind it.
I can't figure that one out. I mean, I would think that L.A. is very dog friendly. I would think. Oh, that's very strange.
According to this, and it was put together
who's that according to?
Apartments.com, myveterinarian.com, and petfinder.com. And what they did is they put the dog parks, the places that allow pets in, and the amount of apartments that allow pets, and with the per capita of dogs in those areas. And these came up the most favorable and the least favorable.
That's good to know. Good to know. So the top city again was?
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, and the worst, Los Angeles.
L.A. was the worst.
Okay, we're going to...
Did you see... I'm sorry.
I was just going to say we'll post this over at the website at animalradio.com. I'm sorry, Alan. Go ahead.
Did you see the top dog names?
No, I missed that. Max.
Yeah,
I guess Max was up there for the dogs, right? I'm guessing.
I think so, yeah. I had it written down, but I'm poorly prepared as normal. But I will now tell you the number 2 dog names. I'm clicking. 2 more clicks and we're there. The number 1 dog name for girl dogs is Bella, and for males it was Max. You're right.
Bella and Max. It seems like Max comes in every year. Do we have her back? Okay.
I think so.
Hi, Heidi. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys doing today?
Very good. Tell us about the original Dog Tarot cards.
The original Dog Tarot. So thank you so much for having me on. Well, the Dog Tarot, it's 30 very colorful cards and a booklet, a 64-page booklet that explains how to use them. It's a very light oracle. We call it a tongue and jowls deck that helps you just understand your pets a little bit more and have a lot of fun doing it at the same time.
So is this a novelty, or is it for? Should we take this very seriously?
Well, you can take it as you need to. I get letters actually from people who are tarot card readers that tell me they're using this to read and they're doing very well with it. And then I get letters from people who say, this is so much fun. In fact, I got a letter from a woman the other day that said she's going to have a dog tarot party. And I suggested she bring her vacuum cleaner. So, you can take it both ways. I've gotten insights from it about my dogs, and then sometimes it's just a lot of fun. And the cards are charming.
Did you ever do any human tarot cards?
I love the tarot. I think the symbolism is absolutely fascinating. And I have done some. I wouldn't say I'm an expert by any means, but I've taken inspiration from people who've done traditional tarot, and I also ask for their forgiveness in the way I've done the deck.
Well, tell us how this works. Can we do something right now with Ladybug, the studio stunt dog?
Do you have your dog with you?
Yes. She's right here, and she actually screens some of the calls that come in for the show.
Now that is a genius.
She is a genius. She runs things.
What's her name?
Ladybug.
Ladybug, and what kind of dog is she?
She's a Jack Russell Min Pin, about 8 pounds.
Ooh, you have your hands full. Sure. What do you want to know about her?
Why does she always turn around in 3 circles before she lays down? This is very confusing for me. And I'm wondering if I should do this when I get into bed at night. If I should.
Well, you'd have to ask your wife. Okay, let me see what card I'm going to draw here.
Okay.
We'll just draw 1 card here. Okay. We drew the oracle. Now, the oracle, of course, this is radio. The oracle is a beagle with gigantic ears.
Okay.
And the oracle is very, very sensitive to things in his environment.
Okay.
And the oracle asks us, it's about awareness and intuition. Is there something in your immediate environment bothering your dog? So what this is saying is, look around, see what it is that your dog needs to be comfortable, and is that why your Ladybug is going around in circles to lie down? That's what the oracle's saying to me. The cards also have a message for humans.
Okay.
Every time you draw a card, and let me tell you what the message is for the oracle.
Okay.
Okay, hold on, we're getting here. How old is Ladybug?
She's 4.
Mm-hmm. So the message for humans who draw the oracle is pay attention to your surroundings and follow your dog's lead into the realm of vibration. Dogs help those who help themselves.
Oh, you gotta love that. Oh, she liked that too. Oh, very good. Let's.
Well, it's a cute way to get to know your dog better. I've always been fascinated by, and scientists for decades have been fascinated with how do we communicate with another species. I mean, it's hard enough to communicate with humans. So I was fascinated by how do we really know what our dogs are thinking. I'm sure you have this with Ladybug. I've had this with my dogs. They sit there looking at you with those soulful eyes, and you're thinking, what are you really thinking? Can you tell me? And you feel like they're just about to speak. And so then I thought, well, logic is not helping me understand this, so I'm going to turn to a little bit of magic.
So this is good. If our animal communicator, Joey Turner, isn't around, you can always have the dog tarot cards. I got to mention that I said at the beginning of the show that we were going to have you on. We're going to have these giveaways. The phones have been ringing nonstop.
How wonderful.
They're doing very well. Are you surprised?
Fun idea.
Well, they are doing very well. My surprise was that Random House published them. I was a very serious journalist for many years, and clearly I've given that up. But they are doing well. You can buy them everywhere. In Barnes & Noble, which is carrying them nationwide, they're in the New Age spirituality section, which is really amusing. And in other places, they're in the pet section. And I think they're doing well. I mean, we love our dogs. We want to understand them better, and we want to feel good about our communication with them. And so these cards give you insights, and they also give you a little bit of insight into yourself. We all need to take inspiration wherever we can find it, whether it's through a serious oracle or a sign on a billboard that makes us think about something. And I think that's why they're doing well. And also they're charming to look at. They're colorful. They're fun. And you can just have a really great evening, on a cold weather day, or even where you are on a stormy day.
Okay, well, they're very cool, and I'm going to give away 10 right now at 9.
Yes.
Oh, are you keeping some?
I'm keeping one, yes.
Okay. 9, if you're not lucky enough to get through, head on over to your bookstore or Amazon and ask for the original dog tarot, Divine the Canine Mind, Heidi Schulman, the author or creator of these. Heidi, thank you so much for spending time with us today.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful year and many happy woofs.
Back at you there.
Bye-bye.
Thousands of authors across the country have written books and published them with Page Publishing. If you've written a book, they can help you through the process, cut through the confusion of the publishing world to make it easy for you. If they decide to publish your book, your work ends, theirs begins. From copy editing and proofing to typesetting and book cover art. Plus, get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and in bookstores across the country. They even help promote your book. Biography, self-help, mystery, novels, sci-fi, or even a children's book. No matter what genre, Page Publishing can bring your book to life. And don't forget to ask about audiobooks. We do all of this for you. Call today for your free writer's guide packed with tips, tricks, and templates to help you finish what you started.
800-215-6815. 800-215-6815. 800-215-6815. That's 800-215-6815.
Hey, this is Cesar Milan. When I'm not doing the dog whisper, I'm listening to Animal Radio. Stay balanced.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too. A Long Island dad is in the doghouse after stealing a tiny chihuahua while on a daddy-daughter day excursion. 27-year-old Nicholas Savoya started by taking his toddler daughter to Chuck E. Cheese and then had what he described as a lapse in judgment when he went across the street to a pet shop and shoplifted a chihuahua worth $1,600, hiding the little pooch behind his daughter's body. He then repented and returned the 2-pound dog with an anonymous tip, which sparked the interest of families who all wanted to buy Georgie, the little photogenic puppy. Savoya, who is now pleading not guilty, was tracked down by surveillance cameras and was charged with grand larceny. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio. Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Here's Hal and Judy.
Listen, on the big show today, We think we're going to have the trainer of these dogs that drive cars. Now,
that's something.
I am not kidding you. And if you have a chance to head on over to YouTube right now, just before he comes on the air, and see these videos, just type in driving dog. And let's go to Sonny. I like that. What a beautiful name. Hi, Sonny.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Fine. Just relaxing.
What's going on in your world?
I got a cat, like a ragdoll cat, and we've had cats that come to the window, and I've had them all taped up already. But he has got into a spraying over a year now, and he's I can't control him. I tried stuff from the stores to find out what to stop him from doing, but it hasn't worked. And I was wondering why he's doing this.
Okay, so far you've tried. You said taping up the window. Like covering it up?
I taped the windows up so he wouldn't look outside anymore.
Okay.
Because he was getting involved with this female cat that would come to the door and just, and as I told my wife, look, she's coming through the window and antagonizing my cat, our cat. And he got really involved with it. He's never been the same after that. It's been over a year.
Okay. And is this the only kitty you have? And does he stay inside?
No, I have 3 kitties, but I got one that we just brought in about 6 months ago. It belongs to a friend of ours, and we all work together. And he stays with us now for about 6 months now.
And then everybody stays inside now?
Yes, they're all inside cats.
Okay, all righty. So, Sonny, you have a challenge here because as long as that neighborhood cat is coming around, you have an ongoing stimulus for your kitty, and everything you try in the inside of the house is going to be very marginal at improving this, because as long as that cat is there, that stimulus is way stronger than any kind of obstacle you can put in the way. So whatever we do, it's got to be a multi approach. So I definitely like the idea of doing things to help your cat from not seeing the kitty, but I want to start first on the outside of the house, and I'm not advocating doing anything that's going to harm this cat. So if it's a neighbor's cat, I'd go over there and say, hey, you know what, your cat's coming over. I'm having urine spraying issues in my house. Just want you to know, maybe you can keep them inside. That's one step. But there are things that you can put outside that window to help keep that kitty from choosing to come by that window. So you may end up in nice weather. You can get the motion-activated sprinklers, so that when the electronic eye detects movement, it sprinkles with a sprinkler in the area, and that helps to keep feral cats or outdoor cats away. You can also do this. There's canned compressed air units that are also motion activated, and that's one way to kind of create a invisible barrier so that cat won't come around. And I'll often use, cats don't typically like citrus, so you can take orange peels, lemon peels, and kind of sprinkle that in the area, and that might be kind of a more natural way to kind of deter the kitty from there. So that's one thing. We got to keep the other kitty away. The other step is we want to try a little bit more creative ways to block your cat from seeing this kitty. And you can close the drapes, put barriers on the windows. You can put something that might make it less attractive for your kitty to go there. So those little plastic runners that you use to preserve your carpet, so all the traffic on it, you flip that upside down, and it's got those little nubs. If you lay that down in front of the particular area where this is happening, that's just one incentive for your kitty not to go there, to help keep them away.
All right.
And make sure you do pick up some kitty pheromones, which are scent hormones that have kind of a calming effect and do help when we have multiple cat issues or anxiety issues.
We put one of them collars around his neck, and he wears it a lot to keep him calm.
Yeah. So that's definitely one way those are designed. And then the other thing is, if hopefully you have a harmonious feline inside household, but also we want to make sure you got ample resources so that anything in a cat's world that they kind of stress about creates more anxiety and feeds some of these bad behaviors and unpleasant things. So, what is a cat stress? Cats stress about not having enough food sources or water sources, or having to walk by this this hallway and have another cat meow at them. So you want to make sure with 4 cats that you have at least a good 4 litter boxes. I'd prefer to see 5. But we want to have those strategically around the house and have lots of food and water sources as well. So that decreases the inside stress with your social situation. And then hopefully that will also help with, this other cat on the outside. But that's a very overwhelming drive, to want to, hey, say this is my house, go away from that window. This is what cats do. And instead of, picking up the phone and calling or yelling out the window, this is how he's trying to tell that cat, get lost.
Okay.
Well, good luck with that, Sonny, and give your kitties a good scratch behind the ears for me.
Okay.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Call the Dream Team now with the free Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android.
Hi, this is Dr. Paul on Incredible Radio. Is that what it is?
Animal Radio.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hello, this is Dr. Paul on Animal Radio. Take care of the pets and make sure that in these hot days that they get in lots of water and don't tie them outside in the sun because then they get a heat stroke.
I never really understood the value of having a good credit score until I started to make a few purchases recently. Then it hit me like a ton of bricks. Because my credit score was in the 600s. I was borderline getting denied on my new apartment. And guess what? My new car payment is about 30% more. Having bad credit can even affect your credit card rates. Having a good credit score is important to your financial future, and you can save a lot of money. Call the Credit Pros right now. In a free phone call, we can tell you exactly how to improve your credit score. Plus, learn about our 60-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not happy after 60 days, we'll give you 2 months free. Make this free call right now for a free consultation and free credit review. 800-292-6156. 800-292-6156. 800-292-6156. That's 800-292-6156.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
And your dream team, Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions, dog trainer Alan Cable with your most vexing dog issues. Dog father Joey Villani today has become the Birdman of Animal Radio, and we'll tell you how you need to bathe your bird. You got to have a clean bird. I'm telling you that right now. He gets in the shower with his bird. I don't think he's going to recommend that for you. But he'll tell you.
Hey, don't knock it till you try.
Animal communicator Joey Turner is also here today. And this hour, we're going to be talking to Mark Vetti. He's the trainer behind the video of the dogs driving cars.
Wow. That's amazing.
Truly amazing.
Maybe I can teach my wife how to drive. I can,
maybe one of the dogs can teach you.
Get that radio connection.
It would be funny to open up a driving school with these dogs where the dogs teach people how to drive.
There you go. Be a good movie.
Cameras, you go to the DMV to take your driving test, and a dog gets out and gets in the car and sits there.
Yeah, wouldn't that be funny?
Stacy, what's going on in your world?
Okay, in Sweden, they've been given this gift by the Japanese, which is a robot that will actually calm elderly and little children down when they get upset about things or they get a lot of anxiety.
Cool.
And it's not what you would think. It's not a human. They didn't create a human, and they didn't create a dog. They created a seal. The kind, a seal, like not the seal that sings, not Seal, that guy, but those kind of seals that you find in the ocean. I know. I did a good impersonation of that. I could get a part-time job doing that at the zoo. Anyway, I'll tell you about it coming up on Animal Radio News.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
I have a 4-year-old beagle who will not come to me.
How long have you had the dog?
We adopted him about 8 months ago.
So when you say he won't come to you, what does that mean? I mean, he never will come to you? Does he ever come around you?
If I have something in my hand.
If you have, like, food or something, he'll come to you?
Exactly. I can't get him to come to me when I say come.
Okay. Do you walk him?
No, not really.
Do you praise him? Like, if he does come over to you and you have something in your hand, what do you do when you give it to him? Do you tell him he's a good dog?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Start taking walks with...
If I call him and he does come by chance, then I give him a lot of praise.
Does he move away from you when you call him, or he just pays no attention to you?
No, he doesn't. He just doesn't pay attention.
Okay. Well, you have to become the leader, buddy. When you feed him, what do? Do you just put his food down and let him eat it?
Right.
Okay. Well, don't do that anymore. Start doing things that let him know that you're in charge and that he's not in charge. Because right now, he thinks he's in charge of you. He's the boss of you. He's the leader. So start walking him. Walk him every couple of days. Keep him at your side. Never let him walk in front. Never let him walk in the house in front of you. Always go in the house first. Everybody goes in first. He goes in last. When you feed him, hold the food for a couple of seconds. Hold the food for about 30 seconds and look at him. Let him know that you're in charge of the food. Take a piece of food out and feed it to him with your hands. And then put the food down. Make him stay. Don't let him go right at it. Make him stay a minute or two and then let him have the food. Make him work for everything that he enjoys and finds pleasurable. And I don't mean he has to do tricks or anything. He just has to, have a little bit of patience. And when you start doing stuff like that, the dog is going to recognize that you're the leader, that you're in charge of the household, and that, he is not in charge. And he'll start coming to you on his own, and you'll also be able to get him to come to you. Another good technique, just take a leash, and stretch it out 6 feet, 7 feet long so that you're sitting there, and then ask him to come to you. And when he doesn't, give it a little yank, just a little yank. You say, come, give it a little yank, and move him towards you that way. If he doesn't move, just don't get food and try it with food. And after a while, he's just going to come to you when you yank on the leash. And after a while of doing that, maybe a month or two, you'll be able to do it without the leash. But taking walks is important, and letting him know that you're in charge, making sure everybody else follows the rules, too. Is he allowed on furniture?
Yeah. I have two dogs.
Okay.
They're both allowed on the furniture.
Oh, you got another dog.
Not on my lazy boy.
All right. Does he jump on your lazy boy?
When I catch him, I get him off as fast as I can.
Yep. See, he jumps on your lazy. He does not recognize you're in charge of anything. Right now, maybe the other dog's in charge. I don't know. I'd have to be there. But you have to start being in charge, and the dog will start coming to you. And the best way to start is by taking nice walks with your dog. Don't let him walk in front, though. He's at your side or behind.
All right.
My two Labradors were the most delightful guys to train, and they're so obedient. And then I got my little boss, my little terrier, and he did the same thing. And we had the biggest challenge getting him motivated to listen to us. And I had to recognize that I couldn't treat him like a Labrador. I couldn't treat him like my other dogs. I had to find his motivation and to will him to do what I wanted to. So I had to get kind of tough and be a tough mom and, do all what you said about not letting him have food and going through the door first. And it really, I had to think of him as an individual, not as my other dogs.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because they're all different. They all have different personalities, and size has a lot to do with it, too.
It is funny because you say don't let them go in the house first. And it's funny because when they want to go out, the one runs down to the back door. Augie, which is the beagle, stays kind of at the top and waits for me to go down the stairs.
No, you take the door. You see, you got to be in charge of that too. Take that space by the door away from them. Now you go down to the stairs and move them away from the door with your body. Tell them move, 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 and you make them sit. You make them stay until you open the door and give them permission to go out. These are all things that let them know that you're the boss, that you're in charge. When they do things before you without permission, they're in charge.
Okay.
Good luck with that,
good.
Tom.
I'm going to give it a try.
Ladies and gentlemen, our dog father, Joey Villani. How are you doing today, big guy?
I'm doing good, but you know what? Today you can call me the bird father because we're going to be talking about birds, okay?
And for people that don't know, that are new, you have you have two birds? You have one bird, right?
No, I have one bird right now. I have an umbrella cockatoo that pretty much rules the roost here. All the dogs, the people, everything, revolves around the bird. So the bird has its own orbit, so to speak. It's funny because I got an email from someone as I was bathing my bird, and I said, let's talk about the benefits of bathing your bird. And when I'm talking about bird, I'm not just talking about parrots. I'm talking about budgies. I'm talking about canaries. I'm talking about cockatoos. It's an important process in owning a bird. Okay, number one, it keeps their plumage in good condition. A healthy bird, when you see an unhealthy bird, let's start with that. The feathers are going to be, they're going to look like the ends are going to look frayed. It's not going to look pretty. Okay, a lot of that is from diet, but it also can be from not being clean. Birds like to be cleaned. Okay, bathing will soften the dirt on the feathers and the skin, so it'll help them when they clean. So what they do, birds prune a lot, and you'll see them. Anytime you look at a bird, that's what they're doing. They're pruning their feathers and they're peeling off the casing. They're encouraging the new growth of new feathers to come out. And what happens is when you bathe them, it helps get the dirt off. It helps keep the dander down. It cleans their skin, so everything comes off a little bit easier for them. Okay. The other thing is I kind of just touched on it. It keeps the dander down. Now that's good for birds themselves, for their health, because a lot of times they develop respiratory problems when their own dander is too high and basically stays in that cage area. So you want to keep them clean for that. And also for someone that has respiratory problems like myself, I have asthma, okay, and I developed asthma from my bird basically, and I found out years ago that the cleaner I kept my bird, the better it is for me. I can breathe a lot easier. It also just routine bathing moisturizes the bird's skin. Now, everyone's sitting here and they're listening to me and say, okay, smart ass, how am I going to bathe my bird?
Yeah, well, you know what? You're the only one that I know that ever bathed their bird. And you actually put the bird in the sink, right? I
put him in the sink. He comes in the shower with me. Birds are social pets. So they if you have a friendly bird, or, someone that, because sometimes birds bond with one or two people in the house, opposed to the whole family. Then other birds bond to everyone. Like my bird will go with anybody. But my bird, if you're in the shower, if we have guests here and the bird goes in the bathroom, the bird will walk right in the shower and want to shower with you. Now, most guests don't find that so appealing, to be very honest with you. So what you could do is just get some distilled water and a misting bottle, just a regular spray bottle you would get in any of your local supermarkets, dollar stores, whatever. Fill it with the distilled water and spray it. Now, the important thing is don't spray from the bottom up. Spray from the top down, almost like it's imitating how rainfall would be, because the birds feel more comfortable that way than when it's sprayed in an unnatural way. It's just not natural for them. So sometimes they'll get a little bit alarmed and they're not going to like it. Other birds aren't going to like that at all, and they're like a saucer of water. And again, if you can use distilled water, because believe it or not, the chemicals that we have in our tap water is actually pretty harmful for them. Fluoride and chlorine doesn't, really react all that well for birds. So people who take their birds in the shower filters are cheap. They're very inexpensive. You put them on. It's actually better for your skin as well. So everyone actually benefits from it. And never, never, never use any type of antibacterial soap on your bird. Now, sometimes your bird may get some grease or something on it, whatever. Use a dish detergent, but something that's not antibacterial, because the antibacterial properties in the soap are actually harmful to your pet. So you really don't want to use that. Actually, they can cause death in some cases that I've read. And the other thing is, you can go to your local store and they have bathing products for birds that are pretty inexpensive. They have aloe vera in it, which also will keep the skin a little hydrated, and it's actually good for your bird. And the last thing I want to say is, if you're going to dry your bird, use a pet dryer, like the Pro at Home dryer. And I'm not saying that because they're sponsored. It's an important thing. Your regular hair dryer has Teflon in it. And Teflon is very, very toxic for birds, even if you cook in Teflon. What you want to do is make sure that your bird is actually not in the area, because the properties that come off when it's heated actually are very harmful for your bird. So if you're going to blow dry, because you don't want to air dry, maybe it's a little bit chilly or something, you want a pet dryer, and you'll be safe.
The bird father.
The bird father this week. This week I go, you know what, that don't sound so manly though, so that's just for this week.
Do you have an old car sitting around your house? Maybe you're even paying insurance on it. Well, if you don't need that car anymore, donate it, running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation. They will even come and pick it up for free and give you a receipt for a tax donation. Breast cancer screening could save the life of someone you love. And right now, they need your help. They want to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And that's what your old car helps to pay for. So get your phone out and call right now to donate your car to the United Breast Cancer Foundation. Remember, they will come pick it up for free and give you a tax donation receipt. Call right now.
800-793-4880. 800-793-4880. 800-793-4880. That's 800-793-4880.
I'm a squeaky toy, and I've got one job, getting chomped on by this little ankle sniffer. So pardon me for feeling inept. Oh, great. I'm getting buried again.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Call the Dream Team now with the free Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android.
Wow, that song right there goes back to 1987. The Whispers.
Oh, I love that song. That's such a good dance song.
They had hamsters, lots of hamsters. They would actually have the hamsters and iguanas in the studio when they would record music.
Right,
Big
Hal.
animal lovers.
Right, Hal.
Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Dog trainer Alan Cable. And, of course, groomer Joey Villani.
Let's go to line 4. We have Rick.
Hey, Rick. Welcome to the show.
Yes, I have a chocolate lab. She's about 6 years old, and she's got some real flaky skin. We've taken her to the vet a couple times, and they've put her on prednisone, and my wife's got some hot spot spray that she's been spraying on her. It's got tea tree oil and aloe vera, and it's all natural and stuff. And we've switched her dog food, but she still gets these bumps, and she's losing some of her hair, and her skin is real flaky.
Okay.
And we don't know what else to do with her. We've been giving her oatmeal baths and leaving the oatmeal shampoo on her for quite a while. But
and with her being flaky, is she flaky all over, or is the flake kind of more like stuck to her skin and coming off in like patches?
Yeah, it's coming off in the patches.
You said you switched the food, and is she on any kind of flea tick control here?
Yeah, we give her, what is it? I can't even think of the name of the stuff now. We get it from the vet. What's it?
Okay. It's always hard when the vet asks you I have that all the time where I'll ask people, what food do you feed? And it's kind of like deer in the headlights. They're like, oh, it's the blue bag. Right. It's the one with the little slash on it. So that's okay. All right. Well, with a Labrador, definitely we have a lot of different potential causes when we're talking about skin problems. So the good old seasonal allergies combined with food allergies tend to be a really big pot of potential causes for that type of problem. So, some of the things you're doing aren't bad. And if we're not making headway, then I'd certainly want to try looking at doing a couple other things there. For any dog with itchiness, hair loss, dry skin, one of the really natural things that I'm a fan of doing is supplementing omega fatty acids. So typically these tend to be the fish oils. So we're not talking about just taking Crisco or pouring vegetable oil on the food. Those tend to be higher in omega-6 fatty acids. And we really need to supplement in dogs' diet the omega-3s, which are naturally poor in dog foods. Right. It's just something we have to add in. So fish oils would be a great place to start to add that in to as an oral supplement. And being a Labrador, some of the other common problems that can be linked with skin disease can be thyroid disorders. So if you haven't already had this baby's thyroid level checked, that would be something that I would definitely recommend. Hypothyroidism, or an underactive thyroid, can definitely cause problems with hair loss. It can cause problems with dry skin, even things like weight gain. And gosh, most Labradors love those calories, so they grab onto those calories really well. So that might be something worthwhile looking into. And in many cases, even if I don't see them, I'll either do a test for skin mites, or I'll just go ahead and start treating for mites, especially when we have some chronic problems. There are some various types of mites that can be present, and they're not visible by the naked eye, that can complicate some of these skin therapies when we're doing this. So that would be one other thing to consider trying. And then a diet management, for me, if we can play hardcore tough love mom and dad, then that is a great strategy when we have a dog that we're worried about the skin and maybe they have some food allergy. And that basically is not just simply changing brands of food, but really working with your veterinarian to find a hypoallergenic diet. And that means we have to be very super strict in the household. No treats, no rawhides, no goodies off of mom and dad's plate, no even edible supplements, things like heartworm preventatives. We have to switch to the kind that don't have flavorings in them. Those type of things we have to really limit if we're doing a very serious food trial. And there's different strategies with that. We've talked some on this show before about the hydrolyzed protein diets, as well as the novel protein diets. And there's different schools of thought with that. But that would be something to also talk to your veterinarian, because that's kind of a 2-hour lecture from Dr. Debbie. But I think that is one of the things. And actually, we know compliance with food allergy prescriptions. When I give a prescription to someone and say, okay, I'd like you to follow this hypoallergenic diet, research shows that only 20% of pet owners can actually do that because of household situations, and also just compliance, because it is tough. So that would be one thing that if you can do it and you can kind of put all your efforts into that, that one thing might make a big difference. So that would be another thing to really look at for this kid. And in some cases, if I do all these things and we're still feeling like we're treading water and we're not getting ahead of the game, there are veterinary dermatologists. We have some in our local veterinary community that we will look to if we need to do specialized allergy testing, or even just a consultation to give us some direction. So if that's something where your veterinarian feels like they've kind of taken it as far as they can, see if that's an option for you as well. There's a lot more that we can do. It just depends on how aggressive you want to get about getting an answer. I've actually gone to taking a biopsy sometimes of pet skin, and we'll find out, oh, that's a hormone-related disease. Oh my gosh, we need to check this dog for thyroid disorders. We need to check this dog for a Cushing's disease, and it gives us a different direction.
Would the mites spread if that was what it was?
Some kinds can, but others can be more of an immune problem, so it can be an individual problem. Particularly Demodex type mites are not typically contagious in the normal sense of the word. And it sounds like you're a man who loves his labs, just like my household.
This is our 5th one now, or whether we've had 5 already.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Call the Dream Team now with the free Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android.
Hey, everybody, this is Kenny Lee Lewis from the Steve Miller Band. Just want to tell everybody out there on Animal Radio, thanks for loving your pets.
Is diabetes keeping you from enjoying life's special moments? At U.S. Med, we understand the challenges you face, and we're here to help.
With U.S. Med, I can finally manage my diabetes without it managing me.
U.S. Med offers a wide range of services to simplify your diabetes care. Personalized care plans, convenient access to cutting-edge diabetes tech, and knowledgeable support. Plus, we'll check your insurance so your diabetes care may be covered at little or no cost to you.
With U.S. Med, I feel confident and control of my diabetes. I can finally live my life to the fullest.
Don't let diabetes hold you back. Choose U.S. Med and experience better birthdays, better adventures, better anniversaries, and better everything. Call now. U.S. Med. Better service, better care. 800-434-5019. 800-434-5019. 800-434-5019. That's 800-434-5019.
This is an Animal Radio News Update.
I'm Stacy Cohen for Animal Radio. Well, it turns out that parrots seem to be pretty choosy about their music. According to the Daily Telegraph, scientists have discovered that parrots have personal tastes in music. Scientists played music to a pair of African gray parrots and found that the birds' preferences differed greatly. Dr. Frank Perron, he's of the University of Lincoln, he headed this study, and he says that both birds enjoyed rock and folk music from artists like U2, UB40, and Joan Baez. They even got into the music, bobbing their heads, squawking like they were singing along. When they were playing Bach, though, they became very relaxed. Meanwhile, they seemed to become distressed when researchers played electronic dance music. Perron says that's when EDM was played and the birds screamed in a distressed, scared way. But they did a second study and the birds were placed in a cage equipped with a touchscreen. They could play either Scissor Sisters, I Don't Feel Like Dancing, or Vangelis. Well, during the month-long experiment, the pair chose to play the songs a combined 1,400 times. But here's the problem. One bird liked Scissor Sisters better, while the other preferred Vangelis. Go figure. One Swedish retirement home is getting a new guest. It's a robotic seal. According to a care trust in Sweden, they brought in the Japanese bot to help improve the morale of residents. Barrett Lundstrom, he's the chair of the care trust, says that the seal has appealing eyes and soft fur, which is pleasant to touch. He added that he hopes it'll bring comfort to elderly people who feel anxious. Lingpo King University is backing up Lundstrom. They say that robotic seals are more effective in calming people than robotic dogs. The reason is most people are accustomed to dogs' behavior, and when they discovered that the robot dogs aren't real, then they become disappointed. And because people aren't used to the movement of a seal, it makes the robotic seal more believable. The university study also found that after children and the elderly interacted with a robot seal, they became calmer and more in tune with their surroundings. Lundstrom prefers the robot over the real-life counterparts. He says there's no risk of allergies and the robot is easier to handle. He adds, when you put the robot in somebody's lap, it stays there. And I add, it doesn't smell like fish, which is a lot better. Want to get your pet a modeling or showbiz gig? Here are some tips for the aspiring pet momager. You want to strike a pose. Don't spend a fortune on professional photos. Simply snap a few well-lit and clear shots of your dog or cat. Capture their personality and have them printed in a 10 by 8 inch format. You also can draft a resume for your dog or cat. Put together a montage of photos of your pet with different looks and then some tricks that they may do and submit your pet's package to several agencies. Get an agent. You can contact advertising agencies in your area that will directly work with pet products. However, an agent will increase your pet's shot at stardom. But beware of scams and make sure that you ask each agency for their terms and conditions up front. And most importantly, let your pet know about that casting couch thing. I'm Stacey Cohen. Get more animal breaking news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update. Get more at animalradio.com.
We've been talking all morning about these dogs that are learning to drive. And if you haven't seen the videos over on YouTube, they've gone viral. Just type in driving dogs. It is amazing to see these animals actually driving and using the stick shift, the blinkers, looking behind them to see if there's a car in the other lane. And they're driving these retrofitted Mini Coopers.
What are they, super dogs?
They are super dogs. And who's the super trainer behind that? Mark Vetty, welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Yeah, what time is it? Where are we calling you, first of all?
I'm in Auckland, New Zealand, and it must be about 9 o'clock here in the morning, something like that.
On Sunday.
On a Sunday morning. How is Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday's great. You can look forward to it.
You're training these dogs. How many dogs are you training to drive?
Well, we've trained them, and so they've done the world first, and we've trained 3. We rescued them out of the SPCA shelter here in Auckland with the purpose to demonstrate that dogs out of shelters are as intelligent or more intelligent than any others.
How did you select the dogs that were going to participate in this?
Well, we train animals for film and television, and I'm also an animal psychologist, so we treat behaviour problems in animals. So basically, we use similar criteria to what we use for a film animal, but we had 6 or 7 to choose from, and really, to be honest, any one of them could have done it. So it was really on the basis of which ones were good and stable under pressure, and because we knew there was going to be cameras and lots of things happening, a bit like a film set. And just trainability in terms of food orientation, because we click a train, and stability and temperament.
Is there a certain breed that performed better than another breed?
Well, there is in the traditional sense. We tend to find the breeds that we select for trainability, like the Border Collies and German Shepherds, and those kind of breeds tend to be more trainable. But hybrids, which is what you invariably get, or almost always get out of shelters, which are, mutts basically, you get what we call hybrid vigour, which is the benefit of 2 breeds coming together, and you get an extra kind of a vigour, and that can include trainability. So, and certainly we found that with these guys. They were fantastic to train.
Whose idea was it to do this?
It started out with Minnie and their agency starting to do the gag, and we started out kind of thinking, we'll just do, I don't know whether you've seen the Subaru ad and ads like that, where they, basically what we do when we're training film animals is quite a bit of it's a cheat. You teach them little bits and pieces and then you edit it together, whereas this is the dogs are in the car driving by themselves with no trainer in the car. We're just communicating with them through an RT, through a radio. So to actually get to take it from that stage to the next stage, they asked me basically in the early stages did I think I could do it, and I was stupid enough to say yes. So the project evolved to where it is.
Well, it was so cool. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just wonder if this is going to turn into a commercial venture.
Yeah, or a movie.
Is there going to be a commercial
something
behind this? Some company like Saab, or they reached out to you and said, hey, we want to make a car commercial with the dogs. Anything like that?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's been massive, actually. We're looks like we're going to be doing Top Gear in March. Mini, obviously, because they initiated the project. So we're kind of, we'll be going with Mini. Mini are owned by BMW, so between BMW and Mini, we'll be heading down that track, I expect, with them. And but yeah, it's gone so big. I think we're heading towards 10 million views.
Oh, now where are these dogs now? Are they in homes? Are they with you?
We're just right at the moment in the final stages of rehoming them or homing them. And one of the problems is
you have to keep your keys locked away if you adopt one of these dogs.
They're staying there with their trainers still with me. One of them's with me. Monty's with me at the moment, and the other two are with their trainers. In fact, to be honest, they're all at my place at the moment because everyone else has gone on holiday. And we'll be looking at the final adoption kind of process, but they'll be moving on to bigger and better things as well. So there's lots ahead for them and for us, that's for sure.
I so much idolize you. I mean, I just watched the long version of the video, and I thought, man, this guy is so good. And I thought to myself, just what you said about being dumb enough to take on the task. Was there any point in time when you were doing this that you were afraid, or you were just worried that you wouldn't be able to do it?
Many points, but I mean, we do some pretty amazing things. We do the kind of the big Narnias, the wolves on Narnia, and all the animals. We did Lord of the Rings and Last Samurai and all those kind of movies. So we're up for big challenges. And with my background in animal psychology as well, I teach animal behaviour and learning psychology, and so we use some pretty sophisticated positive reinforcement techniques that probably aren't necessarily available as the whole package to many other people in the world. I suppose we had the advantage, but there certainly was times when we transitioned from the rig to the car. We had some pretty funny moments when the old accelerator bumped on to full throttle, and there's a trainer chasing the dog down the runway, and the film cameraman nearly getting run over. And we do have a remote-controlled cutout and safety brake for welfare reasons. If something goes wrong, so. If we hadn't had that, we might have been in for a bit more trouble. But there was a lot of laughter and a lot of fun. But also quite a lot of work. Obviously, we were training 3 times a day, and it was a full-on. It was just like a big full-on film project, basically.
So no people were hurt during the filming of this.
No people were hurt during the filming of this. No, I'm pleased to say there was a few close calls, but.
For all the folks listening right now who are just trying to teach their dogs basic stuff, what message could you give folks just trying to teach their dog to give them their paw or sit or anything like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, the quickest method, I mean, you'll notice all the professional trainers, or certainly the better ones, use clicker training. Clicker training is a little clicker, is just a little tool that makes a click sound, and it's a promise of a food reward. We call it a bridge. But it comes from the work with training dolphins and so on, where your dolphin jumps up, touches the ball way over there, you blow a whistle. At that point, it knows that it's done the right thing. When it hears that, comes swimming back and gets the fish. Same principle as the clicker. And so the clicker speeds up learning in dogs about 10 times. And the reason that is it's a consistent stimulus that they can identify when they're doing something right. And the hardest thing for a dog, or any animal for that matter, because we train lots of species, they don't know what you want them to do, obviously. So the clicker tells them exactly what you want them to do, and it's a promise of a food reward, so they're going to be working towards doing it. And once they've got that click a few times, they're away. A really nice book called Don't Shoot the Dog by Karen Pryor, if people want to have a wee look at one of your American trainers.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to have a look at how to clicker train, it's a great technique. The other thing I'd say is the first 4 months of a dog's life is the formative period, so if you get one from the shelter, obviously you've missed that period, so you're going to see what dog you get in terms of its sociability and its ability to deal with life. But if you have the chance to get a pup, get them at 7 to 8 weeks and spend that next 2 months really socialising them and getting used to your world, what you do and what you want them to do.
Thanks for calling the Veteran Car Donation Program. How can I help you?
Can you come and pick up my car and give me that tax deduction I've heard all about?
Sure, we can pick it up in about 2 business days or less.
Call right now and donate your car to help our veterans. Call 800-927-9819. 800-927-9819. 800-927-9819. Call right now. 800-927-9819.
Hi, this is Emmy Lou Harris on Animal Radio. Please spay and neuter your pet.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too. Leftover pizza can be a real treat, but leave the reheating to humans. Skylar, a golden retriever poodle mix from Chicago, tried to make a meal of the pizza her owner left on the stove, but ended up setting the house on fire. Skylar started the fire by trying to grab the pizza, pushing the pizza box near the burners, and turning the stove burner on with all the jumping and pizza grabbing. Firefighters found Skylar passed out from the smoke with her usually white coat pitch black from the soot. Medics used 3 canisters of oxygen to revive her, and now she's doing great. The house? Not so well. Damages from her pizza diving are estimated at around $50,000. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio. Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
Oh, what did he say? He said, we're all across the USA, the most listened to pet show today. Animal Radio, we're everywhere you go. Animal Radio. Animal Radio.
This is for Dr. Debbie. We're going to go to line 1. We have Randy.
Hey, Randy.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm hoping you guys can help me with my cat problem.
We are hoping so, too.
All right, let's go for it. What do you got going on there?
We have I don't know what kind of tabby. She's just a white tabby type of cat. And we've had her for 3.5 years now. And she's always been a great cat. We've never had problems with her. However, we got a puppy March of last year, a little mini pen, and brought her into the family. And ever since she came into the family, our one particular cat, whose name is Pink, likes to pee on everything. Pees in the cat box, but sneaks in the garage and pees in the gym bag or the kids' toys.
Fun.
And it's only been since we got the puppy.
She peed on the puppy?
No, not yet.
Oh.
No, she sneaks into the garage. It's only in the garage and mine and my husband's gym bag. Or if she can't get to the garage, because if we lock it's the garage coming from our house into the garage. Or if she can't get to the garage, it's only at nighttime when no one's looking, she'll go in the kids' playroom and she'll pee in their tent.
It's not going to take her long to pee on your puppy, I'll tell you.
That would be really the signal there. Okay,
She's really not happy with that dog.
You have a dog, and do you have other cats as well?
We do. We have 2 cats, and we have 3 dogs, and only the mini pen's the inside dog who's inside all the time. And It's only started since we got the mini pen.
Okay. How many litter boxes do you have?
We have 2 litter boxes, and they only seem to use the one, but we always keep 2.
As far as this kitty cat, anything else going on? Are we having any other kinds of aggression issues with the other kitties?
Sometimes I can hear at night, sometimes him growling or her growling at our other cat.
Okay. So the big causes for cats to urinate inappropriately are medical causes and behavioral causes. So my first crusade is always to make sure we're not missing anything medical. So I would, if you have not taken this kitty to a vet, have her checked out, get a urine sample, make sure all is well in her urinary world. We can have crossover of behavioral with medical causes. So we really need to make sure we're not missing that aspect of things. But from there is a lot that we need to address for this kitty. And when we introduce a dog into a cat household or vice versa, we always hope that they're going to get along. But that old phrase, they get along like cats and dogs, sometimes has some serious truth. And there are very big differences. It's kind of like, some women can get along really well with other females and others it's just like oil and water. So my former college roommate. Okay, won't go there. So let's just say that we need to work on making this kitty's environment more favorable for her. Now, dogs, things that cats don't like about dogs, they move fast, they make a lot of noise, and they disrupt a cat's peaceful world. So for cats that are having trouble in this situation, I recommend giving a lot of vertical escape to get away and to be superior to those dogs. Because cats, let's face it, they need to look down on dogs to say, "Heal me, a little dog." So we want to give those vertical escapes. Those are cat trees, perches for windows, ways that we can find a peaceful zone. The other things we need to do is work on this litter box situation, because we usually want one more litter pan than we do the number of cats in a household. And that number can increase even if you have other things like 2-floor houses. If you have cats or dogs that go in or outside, we want to have them at different access points of the home. So a cat might avoid going to the normal litter pan if they have to go through a doorway or an area where, say, there's noisy children, or a dog that might come chasing after them or annoy them. So we want to make sure that we have alternate litter box sites and make those so that they're in a quiet zone where they're away from the path of other animals and people. And preferably, I hate the lids. Take the lids off the gosh darn litter boxes. Cats do not dig those.
I hope these ideas work for you. And if you need a follow-up, we do follow-ups. I believe we're the only radio show that does follow-ups.
Well, that's good. And that would totally help.
Wow, the show just flew by today. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, you can catch us all week long over at animalradio.com or download the Animal Radio app for your iPhone or Android. Ask us questions, listen to shows, all kinds of fun with that. Get it at your iTunes store or through your Android supplier. Hey, man, where's my Android supplier?
Give me a fix.
And, of course, catch us on Facebook and over at Twitter at Animal Radio. Check out the Good Doctor's book, Shih Tzus,
Yorkshire Terriers, Pugs, Mini Schnauzers, How to Be Your Dog's Best Friend on Amazon.com.
And we have links to everything you've heard on today's show over at animalradio.com. Have yourself a great week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Take care. I'll be thinking about you.
This is Animal Radio Network.